Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Today I wanted to show something to you so dearly. Essentially, there is a way, and I think this is incredibly helpful if you happen to have some of these characters, and that's kind of the thing. Now, the good news is that if you play Genshin long enough, and you're wishing on banners and new characters that interest you and etc., and the idea that you're going to be getting a decent amount of at least one or two of these characters, which is all you really need, this exponentially becomes more attainable. But essentially, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be showing off how to basically run fast as hell. Especially with one of the new characters that was just released. Not only that, but we're going to be doing a little bit of the artifact farm because I haven't done it yet today, and it's just burning a hole in time because it's, you know, basically it's stationary each day. So if you let it go a little bit longer, then it becomes longer the next day. Doesn't matter. I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be showing off how to run or move incredibly quickly, which can be absolutely essential to you when you are farming, whether that's the rock farm, whether that's the artifact farm, whether that's farming for trees, whether that's just wanting to get to point A to point B faster. This is something that you can quickly do, quickly set up, and just fire away. Essentially, right here, you go to party system, you go all the way to the far right, or whatever kind of preset you want, and boom, bam, this is my running team, my farming team. Now, we're going to go through bit by bit things that are incredible about this team set. Now, the first thing we're going to cover is the Animo passive bonus. So if you have 2 Animo people, you basically get an amazing bonus with your elemental resistance, or elemental resonance, sorry. Decrease stamina consumption by 15, allowing you to run faster, but increases your movement speed by 10%. That's amazing. Also, it shortens your skill cooldown, whatever. But it increases your movement speed. That is going to be huge. So you're going to be zipping around the map faster. Now, the reason why we have Rosaria is because Rosaria has a passive thing that is fantastic. One of Rosaria's amazing talent traits is Nightwalk. One that I didn't really see the value in until you start farming or doing anything like that. But essentially, at night, between this time and that time, it increases the movement speed she has by 10% for everybody in your party system. This is huge. Absolutely massive. This, in conjunction with the Animo speed buff, is a 20% movement speed buff, and this, you just start cooking. You start running really fast. Now, with that being said, the reason why we have Mona in here, even though she's not leveled up because I haven't done it yet, don't look at me. Anyways, Mona has this thing where whenever you sprint with her, she basically goes into a puddle and kind of dashes around. The passive of this is that when you can basically skate right across water without having to go in it. Which is incredibly useful, especially with certain farms. You don't have to hook it around a pond. You can just go straight through with your movement speed buff applied. With that being said, though, Mona's ability with this constantly gets snagged on stuff, and it's incredibly frustrating to use outside of cutting across water, which is why you're probably going to be wanting to run with Rosaria. Not only that, but she's also aesthetically amazing. Now, honorable mentions, ones that I did consider putting in this, and if you have this character, this can massively help. But Razor also has a passive called Wolf Sprint. Decreases sprint stamina consumption for your own party members by 20%. Pretty good. But it also says this, which makes me doubt it. Not stackable with passive talents that provide the exact same effect. So, the exact same effect of the 20% or at least reduction of stamina consumption is what we're getting from Animo bonuses. But I don't know if this is talking about like other characters that are coming in the future that have decreased stamina consumption, or if this is also counting the Animo reduction to sprint speed. Regardless, let's see how fast we can zip around without our actual, speedy team, essentially. Okay, so this team should be it should give us no buffs. There's no Animo synergy, nothing. Okay, so we're kind of just, it's okay. Our walk speed, not that great, takes a little bit of time, all right? And now we're running. It's still fast, but not that crazy, at least not from what I'm used to, at least when we're trying to get to point A to point B. Now, let's switch to our other team. And this is a pretty, at least to me, an astonishing difference. It's a pretty one-to-one comparison. Also, one thing I do want to say, though, is I feel like with my team, it says Rosaria gives, like, the passive speed bonus to her entire team. I think it's just Rosaria, or maybe just Rosaria's character model that, like, seems like she's moving faster. I'm open to both. But regardless, our movement speed is pretty good. If we switch to Rosaria, our movement speed is significantly better. Also, you guys can see that the arrows are going up because it's nighttime, so she's getting this passive bonus. And if we sprint, we are haul-assing. You can see Rosaria just running her ass off. So you can get to point A to point B really quickly, do all of your farms. I will say one thing, if you are going to run with Rosaria, which I do think is applying the speed buff, do not jump, trying to dash off of like ledges to get an increased bonus in terms of all that stuff. Also, I haven't bought your stuff yet. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is essentially how you get incredible movement speed. This is something that can massively aid you when farming for anything in the future or in the past. Again, the characters that are massively required to some extent with this are just 2 animal characters just to get the buff. You already have your main traveler, which you can use if you switch it over to his Animo Mondstadt kind of shrine, to Venti shrine. And I'm hoping you at least have 1 other animal character because if you've hopefully even played the game a little bit, you've invested in the banner, hopefully got 1 more Animo. They don't need to be level 100 or whatever, or 90. They only need to be an animal character. And then Rosaria is kind of the key that makes this puzzle come together. At least for me. I've noticed that Rosaria, again, just that movement buff, giving you 20% extra movement buff, compounding with the animal resonance. Whoo, you're cooking, baby, you're running. You're on a mission. It's great. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, we got people to see and artifacts to slightly get and grind for. Oh, good. Every day the stupid artifact farm. Actually, it's quite peaceful. But again, Rosaria's buff is only applied at night. So I always just go like this. I don't know exactly the time. I don't remember off the top of my head. But I always go around here. Yeah, I think it was around 18. Yeah, so as long as you're past this crescent moon, you are going to be getting all this sprint speed. And if the sun ever comes up, you just go all the way back down here. Yeah. In fact, it's right in between these two. It's exactly what it is. Yeah, 18 and 6. But yes, then you just run around the map and you do your farm at like twice the speed and twice the efficiency. Also, it is just hilarious seeing Rosaria zip around the map like crazy. There's usually stuff there. There's this. And I don't know, man. Like, again, I think it speaks for itself. I probably should have showed you guys the previous farms just so you have some sort of comparison. But you are moving. And even when you're walking, one of the things I'm going to title this video is your walk speed basically becomes your sprint speed, which is insane. Now, is that 100%? It's a little bit of a go. I goated you a little bit. But it's goddamn close. And it feels significantly better than just not sprinting that fast. Yeah, but like moments like this where, like, again, normally people wouldn't come down here to get these like blue plants. Or, by the way, they compound. All right. But you can run over here and get this tiny little plant and be good. Signed, sealed, delivered, done. Also, when you summon yourself to another area, I do believe you actually reset your sprint speed consumption. And again, because a lot of farming, you don't. Never mind. Now, what we could do is we could see if we happen to have more stamina with Razor, if it stacks in a big way. I don't think it's like worth not having Mona equipped, even though I love Razor with pieces. Mona just makes like traversal in specific instances so nice. Again, not having to swim is huge. super huge. But anyways, we're gonna go over here now. We're doing the farm. You guys have seen it before, and if you haven't, this is one of the farms you should do absolutely every single day, or at least try to, because it's going to be nothing but good for your account. The rock farm, very much diminishing returns. A little bit less now that there's housing. But other than that, artifact farming is just base increasing your basically account's value over a long period of time, because they can always feed high level artifacts into low level artifacts, or like, you know, potential artifacts that could be good and stuff like that. Also, I don't know, man, maybe it's just me. See, this is an instance where Mona would come really in handy. But I was gonna say, maybe it's just me. But seeing Rosaria just waddle, like sprint with high heels is kind of hilarious. Also, see, like right here, maybe we can actually, yeah, because we do have an increased base sprint speed. So normally it'd be kind of hard to like traverse this, but yeah. Huh. Now Mona would be able to skate across this with incredible speed, but that wasn't bad. And maybe, yeah, I am noticing actually a pretty decent amount of sprint or stamina decrease. Oh, and I can't change my character. I was going to, shit. Maybe we can if we go over here. I want to show you guys why, like, Mona is good. Where you can just go right across the water. Equip our girl Mona, who I don't have level. Don't look at me. She's a 5-star, I know. I just haven't done it yet. I know, she's great. Anyways, boom! All the way across the pond. Super fast. Bang. And we're here. Easy. I don't think Mona's, like, again, when we're moving with Mona, let's go over here. We're moving with Mona. We're fast, but when I go to Rosaria, it seems like we're fast, but I'm not sure if that's just because Rosaria has like a slower stride, so she has to complete that faster in order to move at the same frequency. I don't know. But what I do know is actually I might go back to Razor, because it wasn't a nightmare skipping across that pond. Yeah, we had a lot more stamina. Also, my voice almost cracked, or it did crack. Honestly, I couldn't hear it. Also, my mic is so far away from me. I'm so sorry. miles away from you. On a side note, this is something I'm going to be mentioning for the next couple videos, but I got a brand new PC, not by my own choice, because my other one just decided to kill myself, and yeah, it was gone real fast. Couldn't do it. I tried to jump, just like at the end of Silent Voice, I missed, completely whiffed. Really tragic, actually. Anyways, very hyper-specific joke. Anyways, but yeah, we're getting 60 frames per second. We're loading in fast. We're like pop, pop, there. But also this game runs on mobile, so it's not the craziest, you know, showcase. But you know, thoughts there. Also, normally you would glide down there. With Rosaria, it's far better to anchor yourself to the ground. Again, I'll reiterate that when you're playing Rosaria and you're playing this movement speed buff, this does not apply to when you're gliding. So there is a much greater value. Also, you got to be short king to get through this. Anyways. Venti, you're a short king, or god, whatever. But yes, try to get yourself anchored as soon as possible. So we're just finished this, and now we're gonna go over here, and normally you would glide toward this, but instead anchor yourself down to the ground. Now because we have Xiao doesn't have any fall damage, so we can just jump to the left. Well, actually he does have fall damage. He doesn't have any plunge attack damage. So we can drop to the ground like this, switch over to Rosaria, and get running again. I don't know why. It's so funny just seeing like this tiny little thing just booking it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to complete the rest of my farm. Of course, I didn't need to take you guys along on this whole journey, but I did want to actually show you guys some like tips and tricks about how to actually utilize this to the fullest, which again is to keep your feet on the ground, basically. That's kind of it. Now, if there is any character that they released it later down the line that increases movement speed, stamina consumption is a part of it, but movement speed I think is the key, because a lot of times you're waiting in loading screens and your stamina is able to regenerate within those loading screens, so you're kind of able to passively gain that income. And yeah, also Xiao can do this, which is cool. That's also why I have him equipped, outside of just being able to plunge attack, which is incredibly valuable as well. And yeah, that is essentially how you just move for days. You run your little ass off. But again, tell me guys, am I wrong? It does say the whole party gains the movement speed buff, but I feel like when I play Rosaria, that's where I get like that next level speed. Could be seeing things, could just be in my head, but I don't think it is. I think the game's just weird, and it's actually not applying it to your whole team. Also, Rosaria has those like up arrows that are like signifying like, hey, you're moving quicker, or like this buff is applied, you know. Which is her night walk buff. And yeah, it just seems like she's moving a lot faster. But again, this makes every kind of farm that they're going to add within Inazuma with upcoming updates significantly faster. And this is probably what I'll be using within an upcoming farm or guide or whatever videos that showcase the game with, because we're just trying to get to point A to point B. Not only that, but the characters that we have are also pretty decent in combat, and you can actually fight with them. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. That was essentially how to unlock superhuman speed / turn your run speed into your base walk speed. It's a little salacious, but it is kind of pretty damn close. You're moving incredibly quicker and able to farm incredibly faster. And again, I think it's just going to only become better, especially if they release more characters get like an animal character that gives you inherent sprint speed. Not necessarily stamina consumption, would be huge. You've been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. Also, there are other videos on the channel. Check out those if you so desire. We cover the new events. We cover everything and anything in this game. And yes, hopefully I can see you around. Thank you again, and goodbye.